This is not the story of a general or a famed warrior. This is the story of a man who served his country when it needed him. My papu, my great-grandfather, Paul Vranis, was born in Kolinas, Greece, and grew up as a poor shepherd boy. In 1928, he immigrated to the United States at age 14 on the ship Byron through Ellis Island, along with thousands of other forgotten immigrants with one thing in common. They were looking for freedom and a better life. He was welcomed with open arms and given tremendous opportunity. He could live his life freely, practice his religion, and care for his family. On December 7th, 1941, this was all put at stake. The United States naval base at Pearl Harbor was bombed. The fascist empires of Japan, Germany, and Italy had declared war on the United States with the goal of conquering and subjugating it to tyranny. That is when my papu joined the army. He did not do it for the money, the pay was very little. He did not do it for glory, he was only a private first class after nearly 3 years of fighting. He did it because he loved his freedom and everything that the United States had given him, an immigrant from Greece. And he wanted everyone to experience the blessings of liberty, his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and generations of future immigrants and native-born Americans alike. Papu became a rifleman in the Army Infantry and later a machine gunner. He served in the Pacific Theater, primarily in the liberation of the Philippines. It was there, in April 1945, during the Battle of Luzon, that he was shot in the shoulder, an event which earned him a Purple Heart. On January 24th, 1946, he was honorably discharged from the military, 2 days after being granted American citizenship. In addition to the Purple Heart, he was awarded 3 Overseas Service Bars, 2 Bronze Stars, a World War II Victory Medal, a Good Conduct Medal, an Asiatic Pacific Theater Ribbon, and a Philippines Liberation Ribbon. My papu passed away 2 years before I was born, and I never had the honor of meeting him. But my relatives say he was the most patriotic man they ever met. The flag could always be seen in front of his house on holidays, and my papu never drove a car that was not American. He was a member of the American Legion and the Hellenic Post in Chicago. He was always grateful for what this country gave him, and he took tremendous pride in being an American. We do not know much about his time in the war. We did not even know that he earned medals. Most of what we do know is from digging through his old documents after he passed away. Whenever he was asked, he would not talk about the war. Recently, I read his autobiography. In 20 pages, he talked about his childhood and his adulthood, but he skipped over his time in the military. Even though he was shot in the shoulder, he made sure to share that he was only wounded slightly. He was part of a group of patriotic men and women who served their country when it needed them and did not seek praise. He just performed his duty. There were and are countless soldiers like him, each with the same love of American values, willingness to sacrifice for them, and stories of their own. Sadly, many of these heroes have been forgotten, and that is why it is important to, if not every day, at least on Veterans Day, remember to celebrate them, and even more important, to do everything we can to make sure their service and sacrifices were not in vain. Embracing freedom, actively participating in our democracy, and using every right that they fought to save is our duty. And when those rights are in jeopardy, protecting them is also our duty, if not by bravely fighting as they did, then at least with the spoken or written word.